Okay guys, so welcome back to my channel. This is my October wrap up. It is November 1st. This is the quickest I've ever filmed one. Hopefully you'll see it soon because I really suck at the editing portion of this channel. That's my hardest part, is editing, and I struggle with it. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down, and then we will hit the ones that I don't physically have here. I did read a couple of books I don't physically have. I think like 4 of them that are missing. Okay, so the first one up is Six Scorched Roses. I read this for a video that I'm doing that I am done with now, and I can edit it and put it out, and you actually may have seen it already. But this will be in a vlog. But I finally finished this one. I'm still working on the next one in the series because I'm slow right now. I have not finished a book in almost a week because I have been in a book slump. So yay. The next book I have on my stack is Their Vicious Darlings. This is the 3rd book in the Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Crow. I am currently reading the 4th and final book of this series, and I also have the 1st book of the spin-off. This is a very dark, very sexually explicit book about the Lost Boys and their darling. So the idea is that Wendy and Tinkerbell stole Peter Pan's shadow and hid it. And so Peter Pan is going through every generation of darlings to try to find a blood memory of where the shadow is. And so we're on Winnie Darling when the book picks up. And so that's the 1st book in the series. They are very short, very explicit, very interesting books, and I'm really enjoying them. All right, so I've been hearing lots and lots and lots of stuff about Lynn Painter. So I finally got some Lynn Painter books. I got Better Than the Movies. This is the first one that I've ever read from her. It starts off really slow, but it ends really, really cute. I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl who loses her mother at a young age and who is obsessed with rom-coms because that's what her mom was obsessed with. Her mom loved rom-coms, and so she made it her entire personality. And she was always told not to fall in love with the bad boy, that this is what that this is the perfect what she wants. The perfect what she wants is this boy that she was obsessed with when she was a small child and who moved away and has recently moved back. And she's getting help from the boy next door. It was cute. It started off slow, but I really like how it ended. The next book that I read is The 7-Year Slip. These are not in order, by the way. I think I'm going from like newest to oldest in here. This is my first adult Ashley Poston. I have read Geekerella and then the Briar one that she did. I didn't like the 2nd book in the Geekerella series. I just liked the 1st one. But the Briar one was really cute. And I have this one, so I figured why not read it? I liked it a lot. It was a really, really fun book. There's part of me that wanted to smack her through the beginning of the book because she wasn't seeing what we as the audience was seeing, but I thought it was really cute. All right, the next one we have is Wisteria. I finished the series. This is the 3rd book in the Belladonna Foxwood Wisteria series. I don't know what the actual series is called. It's the Belladonna series. Okay, cool. This is the 3rd and final book in the trilogy, and I adored it. These books are fantastic. They are YA, so any smutty scenes are very tame, closed door. And this one is almost a spin-off. It's like the first one starts off with one character and then she's a side character. And then as we move along, the side character comes into like the middle one, they kind of share, and then this is the 3rd one where it's her point of view. So I don't want to give too much away because I think this is one of those series that you should kind of go into semi-blind. Just know the first one is about this girl who can't die and her relationship with death. And then it goes from there. So I've had this sitting in my house for a hot minute. It is not my book, but I am trying to read physically more as part of my health challenge that I'm doing. And so I read at least 10 pages a day. I sometimes read more, sometimes barely make that 10 pages, but I have not missed it yet. This was one of the books that I read for said challenge. I don't know what to tell you about this one. This one left me very, very confused. Do I like monster romances, or does it kind of weird me out? And the answer is both. It's just Beauty and the Beast. And the Beast stays the Beast. There's no Adam at the end. Which honestly, Adam was a big letdown for me when I was a kid, so I'm kind of okay with the fact that there is no Adam. Alright, I also started the Bromance book club series. I read the first one, which is about this guy who is a professional baseball player, and him and his wife are having issues, and they're on the verge of divorce because she's lied to him about their quality of sex life. And when he figures it out, he's heartbroken, and instead of dealing with the issue, he runs away from the issue. And so his friends bring him into their book club to teach them how to talk to them, how to talk to his wife and get that spark back. And then we have Undercover Bromance, which is about the only single character in the book club and how he finds love. And then we have Crazy Stupid Bromance, which is them bringing another side character from the last book into this book, and it's his love story. They all kind of play off each other. They're very cute. I have all 5 books. I don't think I would continue reading them if I did not have them all. But because I have them all and they're cute, I'm just gonna keep on trucking along with them. The next one I have is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. This is the second one in the Talia Hibbert series. I don't know what the series is called, but the first one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and they're going through the sisters, oldest to youngest, and each of them has their love story. So she's an adjunct professor, and he's the guard at the building that she works at, where all the students and teachers have to sign in, you know. So there's a fire drill. She gets stuck in an elevator because she starts heading down before the fire drill goes off. And when the fire drill goes off, she gets stuck in the elevator. And so he comes to the rescue, and they have a fake dating friends to lovers little romance going on. It was cute. All right, the next series that I read was the Queen's Rising and the Queen's Resistance. This is a duology from Rebecca Ross. Rebecca seems to really like her duologies. I remember liking this one so much, but I, for the life of me, cannot remember what it's about. Oh, okay. It's starting to come back to me. So she is a little girl who loses her mom, and in order for her grandfather to keep her safe from her father, he sends her to this special school where she has to like become a professional at one of 5 different things. She cycles through all of them trying to find what one fits her the best. And because of who she is, the headmistress lets her in, even though normally they wouldn't let her in. And she finally lands on knowledge, and she ends up finding a lot more than she's bargains for. I really, really liked this series. I could not tell you a month later what it was about because my brain is not functioning well enough to be able to do that. But I could tell you a month later that I loved this series. And I definitely have to reread that. So definitely a good book. Okay, so the other books that I read while I was in my reading 75 thing is this. This is 6 individual books in one compendium. If you want to count the compendium as one book, I read 16 books this month. If you want to count the compendium as each individual story, I read 21. I counted them as each story because they were a handful. So far, this is the middle length short story that this author, Kelly Hart, writes. She writes super short ones, these ones which are about 60 pages each, and then she writes a little bit longer ones that are like 100 pages each, 150. So this is the middle length one. I just picked it because I was interested in the Alaska thing because I read The Great Alone last month, and that was a sad Alaska, so this is a horny Alaska. The problem is that if you like pregnancy tropes, go ahead and read this. If you dislike pregnancy tropes, don't read this book, because every single one of them has a pregnancy in it. They're very, very insta-love. For a lot of them, these people have only known each other for like a couple of days. Overall, I would give the book a 2. Some of the stories I liked. There was a Friends to Lovers, there was a Second Chance. Those ones I really liked. But some of these were like, hey, I'm dating my client. It seems, okay. Wasn't the best book I've ever read. All right, so the books that I do not physically own are on my sheet here. The first one I got, I'll put it here, is Life's Too Short. This one is an Abby Jimenez book, and I have really been liking Abby Jimenez. She's definitely becoming one of my favorite romance authors. I did buy this book and it's sitting downstairs right now, but I have not unboxed it yet. So when I do my haul coming up, it'll be in there, but because I haven't opened it yet, I wasn't going to open it just for the video. The next book I read was The Husbands. This one started out really interesting and it ended kind of stupid in my opinion. Some people I've talked to absolutely love the ending, thought the ending was great. I personally didn't see it. It's about this woman who comes home from a bachelorette party and there's a man in her house who claims to be her husband. And all the evidence shows that he is in fact her husband. She lives with him for a couple weeks and then he crawls up into the attic, and when he crawls back down, he is a different man. And she realizes there's some sort of magic portal in her attic that every time a husband goes up, a new one will come down. And she's just cycling through her husbands. Sometimes she'll have a bunch in one day, sometimes they'll last for months. It was a really interesting book. I like the premise a lot. I just didn't necessarily like the way it ended. I completely spoiled it for my daughter and told her how it ended, and she was like, actually, I think I like the way that ended. So who knows? All right. So this is the last book that I read. This is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. It's about this guy who, when he was 8 years old, was having a sleepover with his best friend in the backyard, and his best friend disappeared. There was a big cut in the tent, and they assumed that he was kidnapped, but they never saw anything from him again. And so here he is 30 years later, 40 years later, something like that. I think he's like 40 years old now. Here he is trying to figure out what happened, and he's back living in that same house again, and it's just very uncomfortable while he pieces together what happened. I thought it was a really interesting book. I liked it a lot. It definitely wasn't one of my favorite Riley Sager books, but it was definitely a solid one. So that's it. That is my 16/possibly 21 books that I read this month. And I haven't read anything in a week. So I did that in 3 weeks. It's probably not surprising that I am in a wee bit of a slump right now. So that's it for now. I will see you guys again soon. I'm thinking that if I have some really big productive weeks like these ones, I may do them once a week or once every 2 weeks instead of monthly, because I get to the point by the time that November 1st hits, or the first of the month hits, like today, November 1st, I have forgotten what I read at the beginning of the month. And so to keep that from happening, I think I'm going to do it a little bit more often. So unless I'm having a bad month, I will do these either weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how many I get through. So I will see you sooner than later. Bye.